Okay, you know the feeling, right? You're hours deep into a project, cramming for an exam, or just totally locked in on some code. Your brain is on fire, you're in the zone, and then you run a hand through your hair and it just feels greasy, oily. What is the deal with that?
This is something you hear all the time, from students to Silicon Valley coders. It's this sensation that all that intense mental effort is literally seeping out of your scalp. It feels so real that you think, yeah, this has got to be what's happening. But is it?
So let's get right into it. Is your brain actually overheating and, I don't know, leaking oil when you focus really hard? I mean, it kind of makes a weird sort of sense, but is there any actual science to back that up? And here is the big twist. The answer is a hard no. Absolutely not. Your brain doesn't have any oil glands. When it's working overtime, it's chugging glucose and oxygen like crazy to power your thoughts. But it is not, let me repeat, not making your scalp oily. So if it's not your brain, then what the heck is it? Well, the real answer is this whole chain reaction that gets kicked off in your body when you're doing that intense mental work. It's not just one thing. So let's meet the four real culprits who are actually responsible for that greasy feeling.
First up on our list, we have your body's central command for stress. It's called the HPA axis. When you're under pressure for a long time, feeling anxious, or just focusing really hard, all things that come with heavy thinking, this entire system lights up like a Christmas tree.
And check out how this works. It's like a set of dominoes. That project deadline, that's the first domino. It signals your brain to respond, which tells your pituitary gland to get in the action, which then signals your adrenal glands to flood your body with that famous stress hormone, cortisol. So what's the bottom line here? All that cortisol basically goes straight to your sebaceous glands. Those are the tiny oil factories in your skin and tells them to go into overdrive. This is exactly why your scalp feels extra greasy during finals week or that last push before a big deadline. Now, building on that, our second culprit is your fight or flight system. See, that intense concentration keeps your body in this constant state of low-key stress. It means this system is basically always on, just simmering in the background. So unlike that big blast of cortisol, this is more of a quiet, steady pressure. It's this constant hum of stress that's always in the background, just nudging those oil glands to keep pumping. It's a slow burn, but it definitely adds up. Okay, and now we get to maybe the biggest player in this whole thing, not getting enough sleep. Because let's be real, when we're working hard, sleep is usually the first thing that gets sacrificed. And our scalps, they really, really pay the price. And just how big of a price are we talking about? Well, get this. Being sleep deprived can crank up your oil production by a massive 20 to 30%. That's a huge jump. And the reason is pretty simple. Staying up all night completely messes with your hormones, and it weakens your skin's natural protective barrier. It is a total double whammy for your scalp. And finally, our fourth culprit is something a lot of us just don't even think about: the food we're stress eating while we work. I mean, when your brain is screaming for fuel, what's the first thing you grab? Yep, sweets, sugary drinks, all that stuff. They give you that quick energy rush, for sure, but they also send your blood sugar on a wild roller coaster. And that spike in insulin, it boosts the very same hormones that tell your scalp to make more oil. So we've met our four culprits: the stress axis, overexcited nerves, no sleep, and too much sugar. Now, the big question is, does this sound like you? Let's do a really quick self-check to find out. All right, just look at this list and be honest. You've been feeling extra anxious, pulling all-nighters? Does your hair get oily almost right after you wash it? Maybe your scalp is a little itchy too. And is your diet full of sugary snacks right now? If you're nodding your head to 3 or more of these, then yep, you're almost definitely in the stress-oiled club. But hold on. To be fair, this isn't the story for everyone. What if you've kind of always had an oily scalp, even when you're super relaxed and on vacation? Well, then it might not be stress at all. This chart makes it super clear. Stress-induced oiliness is a change. It comes and goes with your stress levels. But a naturally oily scalp, that's a consistent thing, something you've probably dealt with since you were a teen, and it probably runs in your family. The trick is to figure out if this is a temporary situation or just your normal. So whether you've just realized you're the stress-oiled type or you're just looking for ways to manage an already oily scalp, what can you actually do about it? Let's get into the action plan. The main strategy here is not about finding some magic shampoo. It's about getting to the root of the problem. You've got to regulate that stress-sleep axis that's running the whole show. Here's your 5-step plan. Number 1, fix your bedtime. Consistency is everything. 2, get some exercise every day, even just 20 minutes. 3, cut back on the sugary foods. 4, put your phone away before bed to avoid that blue light. And 5, this one is so simple but so important. Stop touching your scalp. Every time you do it, you're just telling those glands to get to work.
So, to wrap things up, let's circle all the way back to the beginning. The most important thing to take away from this is that greasy feeling is not your brain leaking oil.
What's really going on is that your body is sending you a very clear, very physical signal. That oily scalp is just an external sign of your internal stress levels. It's a message.
So the next time you're working hard and you feel that familiar oiliness creeping in, just pause for a second. Instead of getting frustrated, think of it like a check engine light. Your body is trying to tell you something about your stress, your sleep, or your diet. Your oily scalp is sending you a message. The only question left is, are you listening?